Hi, this is our nutrition lecture. We're going to have another nutrition lecture next week. So I'm trying to make these short so that you guys don't have to watch it for too long. It's nothing like our whole class. So nutrition, food or nourishment needed to keep an organism growing, healthy, and viable. I like this picture, by the way. What's important about nutrition is to know the effect that it has on our long-term health. Nutrition is a positive thing on this slide. Smoking, excessive alcohol, abusive, destructive behaviors. So, given that, knowing that it has such a huge effect on our long-term health, and we can't avoid nutrition. It's something that we do from the time in utero. We need to grow, we need to be healthy, we need to be viable from what we put into our bodies. So, we can choose not to smoke or drink, but we need to learn how to make some healthy choices for nutrition. A lot of ways you can choose your food. This is something that I would ask you in class to give some thought to and have some feedback. Advertisements, you see something, on TV, you see a billboard. A lot of times I'm driving down the street, I'll see a truck with food on it. I'm like, oh wow, I think I want a salad, because I just saw the truck with all these fresh vegetables on it. So advertisements definitely help direct how we're going to choose our food. What's available, what's convenient, especially on college campuses. Habit, what are you used to just grabbing? I grab the same thing every morning when I used to come to school, and now we're stuck at home. Well, we're not stuck at home, we're doing the same thing. Is I always had a granola bar, a bottle of water, one of my herbal teas. So a lot of times you choose your food through habit. Positive associations, something that you have a nice connection to, and it's associated with food. I always think of your grandmother's spaghetti sauce in the kitchen makes a positive association. Ethnic heritage, region of the country where you're from. A lot of times I ask my students, where are you from? My New York students tell me how wonderful bagels are. My Philadelphia students, talk about Philadelphia cheesesteaks. And I always, when I go to Philadelphia, get the soft pretzels that are on the street. Maryland, hard crabs, crab cakes, seafood. Social pressure. There's a lot of different examples of social pressure. What I'm going to miss this semester is not hearing what your interpretation of social pressure is. One of my students one semester said he had a girlfriend that was a vegetarian. He wanted her to meet his parents. They didn't know that she was a vegetarian, and she felt pressured to eat so that she didn't look rude. And that would be like an example of social pressure. But there can be lots of different examples of social pressure and being kind of forced into eating something that you normally wouldn't eat. This is leading into the next slide, which is going to be a multiple choice question, but it also will help you in your future with writing papers, because when you guys turned in your research papers for me, I said it was okay to use the internet. You have to be careful when you use the internet, especially when you're looking up things that have to do with your health, because sometimes people are trying to sell something rather than give you credible information. So just be careful, because on the next slide we're going to talk about there is no really policy to have any strict guidelines as to what kind of information is out there. So a .edu or a .gov site is generally more credible. There is a random multiple choice question. You're going to have 10 multiple choice questions, at least 10 that have already been pre-made for this course, and then I might have to create some creative questions because I like short answers, and I'm not going to be able to really do short answers on Blackboard. I haven't figured that out yet, or I have, but I think it's going to be a little bit difficult. So I might do multiple choice, true, false, maybe matching. Those are the things that I think I can fit into Blackboard. But one of the multiple choice questions that's already been made up as part of the original 10 that are going to be on your final is in terms of the guidelines of what we just talked about. No, there is no commission that's in charge of government agencies that relate to healthcare policies, and we're fitting nutrition under this healthcare policy umbrella. So in terms of that, try to remember the slide, or when you go to study, remember There is not one. There is not a commission that does regulate that. Now we're getting into stuff that I'm more comfortable with because I like simple things that you guys can remember. ABCs of nutrition. What's more simple than starting with ABC? Adequate nutrients. You're going to get a slide with what the 6 major nutrients are. Balance. Calories that you eat with your physical activity. That's the whole energy, weight management. You know, if you put in more calories and don't expend a lot of calories, you're going to gain weight. If you expend calories and balance it, then you can maintain your weight. If you want to lose weight, then you have to lessen your calories and work out more. So that's balance. Choose sensibly is the C, and the C could also be calorie control. Here's some simple nutrition tips that I have found helpful. You always want to drink a lot of water throughout the day. You should start when you wake up. You want to eat at least 1 green food per day, and that is leading into the plant-based foods. It's okay to eat other things, but incorporate. There's some people who go all day, days or a week without eating a vegetable. So try to eat 1 green food per day. Ditch the sugary foods for multiple reasons. Here's just another balance type of slide because balance comes up a lot. It's in the ABCs. And it's also going to be in another slide that's coming up, which is the principles of good eating, I call it. So, especially with college students, you know, I know that probably a lot of you don't cook. And I know that a lot of you are very, very active and have active lifestyles. So you need to think of the balancing your school with your sports, with your work, and not being so hung up on the convenience and availability of food that might not be so healthy. So think of the balance. This is the perfect picture. The 3 principles of good eating, balance. You've heard balance a couple of different ways. That is one of the principles of good eating. The other 2 are variety and moderation. Moderation is one of my favorite words because if you're going to eat something that might not be such a healthy choice, as long as you eat it in moderation and not all the time, it's okay because it's part of your lifestyle. You don't have to give up something that you like that might not be considered the healthiest choice. But if you eat it in moderation, you can balance it out. Variety, for a person like me, is good because if I'm stuck on eating the same thing all the time, I'm not going to get variety. So you want to choose from a lot of different sources. So variety and adequate nutrients, this slide will help you with that. There are 6 nutrients for health. I'm sure you've heard of all 6 of them. Carbohydrates, protein, and fat, vitamins, minerals, water. Those are the 6 nutrients for health. This is what most of our food and our nourishment comes from. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats fall under the macronutrients, which means that it's measured in calories. They're called energy nutrients. It's how we fuel our body. The micronutrients are vitamins, minerals, and water, just as important, but our body doesn't need them in large quantity. Some water, you know, makes up like almost 70% of our body, so we do need water, but water doesn't provide energy or calories, so it's under the micronutrients. They're called regulatory nutrients. So energy nutrients are the macronutrients, calories. Regulatory, which helps with the functioning of our body, just as important, but we don't need them as much in big quantities, and they aren't measured in calories. They regulate us. Since this is an exercise class, I have a before and an after tips. So before you exercise, here are some tips to focus on to have energy. You know, a complex carbohydrate is different than a simple carbohydrate because a simple carbohydrate is like a sugar, cake, soda, candy. You get a boost of energy, but it's not long lasting. Oatmeal, bread, sweet potatoes, corn, brown rice, those are complex carbs and they let your energy last throughout the day. So make sure you eat before you exercise. Everybody's different, it's individualized, but you're going to have to eat something after a workout. Not immediate, but you're going to be hungry sometime. I know after I teach a lot of aerobics classes, I'm not ready to eat right away. I do like smoothies sometimes. I would like to grab a piece of fruit. Water, definitely, to rehydrate. Later on, here's some protein choices: a hard-boiled egg, nut, lean turkey sandwich on whole wheat bread, peanut butter sandwich on whole wheat bread. Those are good things for after a workout. So these are the macronutrients. So we have carbs, we have protein here, and we have fat. So those are the macronutrients. Then you get into, and I'm not going to have you guys memorize this. This is just kind of a basic introductory to nutrition right now. You can take a whole class on nutrition at Towson. In exercise science, kinesiology has one, and nursing has a nutrition class. We don't have a nutrition major or minor here at Towson, but you can continue your nutrition journey at Towson, or you can just do it on your own. So here are some tips to choose good carbs. Good carbs are considered the complex that I talked about. You don't want no carbs because your body needs carbs. Carbohydrates are your body's key source of energy. That's what your body first goes to for energy. Then it goes to fat, and then protein is third. Protein can be nuts or beans if you don't eat meat. Anything that has my nutrition teacher told me anything that can fly away, walk away, or run away from you is a complete protein. So if you eat animal sources, you're going to get complete protein. If you don't, you can eat other things that will give you your protein. And then healthy fat and fiber. Fiber is considered a carbohydrate. One tip is to drink a lot of water when you start incorporating fiber into your diet. And that is the end of our, I thought I had a couple more slides, but if I don't, I'm going to stop here and I will put the other slides because I do have a part 2 to nutrition. So this is a good start. I hope you guys are staying well and safe, and I will do another recorded. These things are cracking me up. I'll do another recorded PowerPoint next week. All right, everybody. Bye.